All right, what's going on, guys? We're filming our strategy video for 20.2. A little bit of a weird scenario as we're heading into Pennsylvania, so I didn't have a chance to do it at the gym today, but I wanted to get you guys some information. Family's in the car. Say hi, Rye.
Hi.
And Sayla. Say hi, Sayla. Nothing. And Tiff's driving. All right, so to 20.2, I'm going to put a picture of the warm-up with this post. You're going to want to take about 10 minutes on a piece of equipment, cyclical equipment, increasing pace every 2 minutes. From there, you're going to want to loosen up and do some mobility work on the important areas. So you're looking at your lats, your upper thoracic area, your hips and your ankles especially, and I'll get to why in a second. And then in terms of breathing, you're gonna wanna take some time to breathe through the bottom of a squat, breathe through extended position of thruster with a very light dumbbell, beat kips or a stationary hollow and arch on the bar, so like your feet on the ground, hands on a bar. So obviously one that's too low for you or standing on a box, and just breathing in an extended arch position, an extended global hollow position. This is going to be a long breathing based workout. So making sure your lungs, your diaphragm is ready to breathe through those positions is going to be super important. Activation work. You're going to want to do probably some band pull aparts. Again, I'm rattling this off without seeing the board, so bear with me here. You're going to do some band pull aparts. You're going to want to get your ankles and calves warmed up, so doing some quick plate jumps, as well as getting your hip flexors warmed up. Your hip flexors are going to get a lot of work here, especially on the dumbbell thrusters and the toes to bar. So, doing a dead bug where maybe you have a small band around your toes. So as you extend one leg, the stationary hip flexor is getting an isometric contraction, while the extending leg is getting some glute and hamstring activation there. And then also some squats. I would throw a band around the knee. You could do them as air squats, or I did them today as landmine squats. That's the other benefit. I've already done the workout, so I'm gonna give you kind of how I felt during it. And then from there, guys, you're going to want to do your sport-specific work. So I wrote in about 1 to 3 sets of assault bike, 10 seconds hard, 5-10 seconds hard, into like 2 thrusters and into 3 toes to bar and maybe like 12 double unders. So just like hard, but you're done with that piece per round in maybe like 45 seconds. Rest as needed, do that, 2 to 3 times. And then what I would do is do, maybe 2 to 3 rounds at race pace. So what I mean by that is, from a pacing strategy, guys, this is one where you can really look at it due to the low rep scheme and kind of break down an idea of essentially how long or how many rounds you're going to get to. So, am I doing rounds every 45 seconds? Am I doing a round every minute 15? And then from there, do about 2 rounds at race pace. Okay. From a pacing strategy perspective, I went into it looking at it saying, okay, about 20 rounds would be probably a decent score for me. I actually underpaced this workout, but I would look at it, guys, from that perspective. Get an idea based on your aerobic potential, how many rounds would be like potentially a good score for you, and then break it down in that range. So whether I'm doing a round every minute, so EMOM style, every minute 30, and then you'll have an idea from there. So this is a workout you really could do more than one time. So if I was to do this again, I probably won't, but if I was to do it again, I did my rounds every 50 to 60 seconds. Yep, see right. I would do a round every 50 to 60 seconds. I did a round every 50 to 60 seconds. I would try to shave that down to maybe every 45 to 55 seconds, which would probably get me into the round of 22. My goal would be 23 rounds. Maybe a little bit more than 23. Okay, so that's the way I would break it down. From that perspective, I would then break up the reps necessary to maintain that pace. So for me, 4 dumbbell thrusters at 50 pounds is not a lot. 6 toes to bar is not a lot. 24 double unders, not a lot. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to go unbroken through. And then if I finish around in, let's say, 35 seconds, I'll just catch my breath for 10 seconds, get back on the dumbbells. And then as I progress through the workout, get faster. That's the goal. For somebody else, let's say the dumbbells are very heavy, but you're good at toes to bar. Don't be afraid to do doubles on the dumbbells to go unbroken on the toes to bar, okay? Doing that will take longer with the dumbbells. However, if that's going to be your limiting factor, give yourself a chance there and then make up ground on the toes to bar and the double unders. If you're someone where you struggle with double unders, but the dumbbells won't be too bad, that's going to be okay. You can just do the dumbbells unbroken, and chipping the toes to bar into sets of 3 or sets of 2 if you have to will be fine, because again, the rep scheme is low, and it's a quickly cycled movement if you're breaking it up. The other thing is, with the dumbbells, they can be deceptive if you decide to death grip the dumbbell. Okay, so this is a workout, guys, where you shouldn't get too much local muscular fatigue due to the rep scheme breakdown. You're kind of getting a break every 4 to 6 reps. So it's much different than if he had written it as a 20-minute AMRAP where you're doing 25 to 30 dumbbell thrusters, same thing, 30 toes to bar, and 90 to 100 double unders, right? You can get a decent chunk of local muscular fatigue there because the reps are bigger. But if you're breathing through this, especially if you're more of an aerobic athlete, you shouldn't get too much muscular fatigue. So give yourself a chance. Don't death grip the dumbbells. The way I did it was I kind of rested it on my shoulders with kind of like an openish palm. So the dumbbell was sitting right in the middle of my hand, and then I was driving and pressing, giving my hands a break so I could just hop right up and do my toes to bar. The other thing in terms of cycle efficiency on the dumbbell thrusters is, I like to say, you don't get any extra points for going lower than you need to. So the standard, guys, is hip crease below the knee. So my recommendation would be get your hip crease below the knee. You have no need to get your butt to the ground. Practice a couple reps. A lot of our gyms have plexiglass, so whether you use that or use a friend, do a couple reps and say, hey, make sure I'm below parallel. Boom, bang them out. If they're like, oh, you're good, stay right there. No need to get extra below parallel, because you're going to get the same number of good reps across 15, 20, 25 rounds. You're going to slow yourself down by doing that. Okay. In terms of what to shoot for, I think elite scores are going to be in the 26 to 30 range. I think next tier is going to be in the 23 to 26 range. An average score will be in like the 18 to 22 range. And then like an okay score, people where the dumbbells are heavier, maybe toes to bar is a great skill, you're looking in like the 12 to 18 range, okay? So based on where you are as an athlete, those are kind of the scores you're looking at, and then breaking down the time from there, and then breaking down the movements based on the time you're working off of from there, okay? Again, this is a longer workout, guys. I literally turned to my judge in minute 3 and said, I'm trying really hard not to go too fast. If you come out too hot, it is a trap. You will get caught in it, and it will not feel good, okay? So pace this one out appropriately. Make sure you're adequately warmed up, and let's put in some solid scores on 20.2.